it's just, it's frustrating to, never mind, I'm backing up. Someone else say that.
I do also want to point something out. What is that website that Dr. Sadler has always...
Genocide Watch?
Genocide Watch, or is it Trial Watch?
Genocide Trial Watch.
Genocide Trial Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's that website called? Is it Genocide?
Just Google it and you'll find it.
Okay. Well, also to help people be educated and knowledgeable of what's going on, a good idea is to do some research on genocides, and not only do some research and learn, but also go to Genocide Trial Watch, and I don't know if it's .com or what the specific website is, I don't remember on top of my head, but if you Google it or go online and look some cases up, you will read some testimonies from the perpetrator's view, and it's quite amusing to read some of their arguments, and it will also help you understand what the perpetrator thinks and feels while they're committing these genocides. So also knowing how the evildoer thinks is also important to learn from our mistakes, is also knowing how the perpetrator thinks.
Specifically, the Bosnian, I forgot his name, but the man who was in control basically during the Bosnian genocide, his particular statements say things like, these concentration camps were collection camps where people could come and they were free to leave anytime they wanted.
I told you, it was amusing.
Said things like that these mass graves that there was proof and evidence of didn't exist, that tons of things that
go look it up.
Hard evidence of saying
I find
never
it
happened.
completely ironic because they kept detailed records of every single genocide, and then they say, "Oh, we're denying it," even though we took pictures and we wrote everyone's names down.
Well, remember the Guatemala genocide. And
they didn't find records forever, and then they just found out.
And then they found this huge storage in an abandoned house. Huge.
They're still
oh my gosh! Look up the Guatemala genocide. It was the genocide
it's one of the most violent ones, I think.
Not only violent, but very secretive and very covert. It was the extermination of the Mayan Communist Party. Go look up that specific genocide, because a lot of people don't know about that.
This genocide is very unique in the fact that most genocides that we've looked at have targeted minorities, and that's usually how it is. And if they're not a minority, they're not a majority in any sense. But the Mayans were the indigenous people of Guatemala. They were like 75% of the population, and they were targeted for this systematic
it's not
killing.
Necessarily the
minority.
It
doesn't have to be a minority.
It can be a majority group being targeted to turn it into a minority group.
Exactly.
Does anybody have any last thoughts before we leave this one?
Any specific links you want to...
Movies, links,
documentaries. Worse Than War.
Does anyone want to write any on the board, maybe? Does anyone want to write any on the board?
I don't think we mentioned any of the ones that we discussed. You said there was 1-800-GENOCIDE.
Oh yeah, there is a hotline. It's by, Carl Wilkins shared it with us. It's 1-800-GENOCIDE, and if you actually call that number, you will get a hold of some internship students that are in the specific genocide department at the Capitol at Washington, D.C. That's a hotline that you can call to talk to somebody, perhaps get something started if you feel like something or someone needs to start taking action on a particular case. I don't have any specific organizations except for the one on top of my head that I can think of is SaveDarfur.org. That is a website organization if you want to make donations because Darfur is the current genocide that's going on in our world today.
There's also a documentary coming out called Darfur Now, and that should be out shortly, or it's already out.
Does anybody have any other ones?
There's enough. There's enough.org.
Enough.org.
Yeah.
And then he can probably like say that.
There's this movie, it's on the Holocaust, I'm just not sure what it's called, but I'm pretty sure you guys probably have watched this in class. It's about the little boy and his father.
Boy in the Striped Pajamas?
Yeah. What was it?
How do you spell it?
Boy in the Striped.
Oh, you spelled enough.
Oh, sorry. You didn't A.
There's also that documentary
I know,
that we
that's
saw
what-
bits and parts of it with the Marine who. The
That's
devil
what I was
came on
thinking. I was
horseback.
trying to something. Devil's on horseback. It's another Dark
Yeah,
War
the devil
video.
comes on horseback.
There's a lot.
Yeah,
There is a
Yeah.
lot.
We
You
just cut
just
the front line.
Google
That's
is
what I was
finding
showing
lots
was the
of
front line.
Yeah.
But there's another one too.
A really good book, if you're interested in reading, is it's about the Nazi Holocaust, and it's from the perspective of Jews in the ghettos. It's called Milla 18. You will cry, but it was what really made me concerned about the Holocaust.
And there's also
What
Night.
There's
Big.
I
By like
There's
it
the book that we use in our history
Yeah,
genocide class
Genevieve,
is
Okay,
Touch
yeah,
on it.
this is a
Yeah,
really
it's-
good book.
a problem.
It's for me, it feels like I'm reading a history book, but it's much better than a history book because it's not like a textbook. You're not reading dates and facts all the time. You're more reading what happened, how it happened, why it happened, how it started, and basically why nothing was done about it.
It's basically the perspective from the U.S.
Yes, and it's called A Problem from Hell, America and the Age of Genocide, and it's by a woman named Samantha Powell, who got a lot of her information from a lot of recently declassified documents, actually, I think, from the government.
That was our
US.
textbook in class. That was really interesting.
It's really
you can
good.
see all my tabs in there.
Yeah.
All the little notes I made.
Okay.
Are we done?
Well, thank you everyone for coming, and thank you for watching. Well, this has been episode 4 of The Other Half. See you in the next episode.